Welcome to Hollywood Updates Now. By its third season, Three's Company was drawing over 40 million viewers every Tuesday night, effectively outranking the major news and sporting events of its era. The production relied on a specific, high-velocity chemistry between its three leads. Their timing was so precise that the show's ratings remained high, even as the plot lines grew increasingly absurd. This was the sitcom illusion at work. Precise physical comedy and a constant stream of on-screen smiles successfully masked the exhaustion and professional friction that began to mount as soon as the camera stopped rolling. Because the show projected such a flawless, carefree domestic life, the actual messy collapse of the cast's professional relationships felt particularly jarring when it finally spilled into the public eye. In 2026, the contrast is stark. While the characters remain eternally 20-something in high-definition syndication, the actors who played them had to navigate a far grittier reality. Behind the canned laughter were bitter contract holdouts, public scandals, and a series of sudden, untimely deaths that fundamentally altered the group's trajectory. To understand how the cast moved forward, we have to look at the three directions their lives took: those who walked away, those who faced tragedy, and those who refused to be sidelined. These paths, defined by disappearance, devastation, and the pursuit of icon status, reveal exactly what it took to survive the most famous apartment in television history. Some actors chose to simply vanish. Rather than fighting to stay in the A-list rotation, they deliberately abandoned the spotlight for lives far removed from the entertainment industry machine. Joyce DeWitt is the most prominent example. Driven by grueling production cycles and on-set tension, she eventually stepped away from television acting altogether once her contract was fulfilled. For many, the pressure of predatory paparazzi made a public life unsustainable. Maintaining the persona required more energy than the work itself. A strategic move also distanced the original landlords. Audra Lindley was moved into a spin-off, The Ropers, a decision that ended her tenure on the main series and effectively separated her from the show's core success. For these stars, leaving the public eye was a survival mechanism used to reclaim a sense of normalcy. Then there is the second trajectory, the sudden public losses that changed how the world viewed the ensemble. The sudden death of John Ritter at age 54 was the most visible fracture. He had been the physical engine of the show, and his passing forced a total reevaluation of the Three's Company era. He collapsed while actively working on a television soundstage, the very environment where he had spent the most successful years of his professional life. Mapping the years following the finale reveals a cluster of deaths among the cast in short succession. This density meant surviving members were frequently attending memorials for the very people they had shared the screen with for years. Despite the massive syndication earnings and professional revivals that followed, the ensemble was forced to navigate these losses in the full glare of the public eye. Finally, some cast members chose to fight back, navigating industry blacklists to build massive, independent legacies. Suzanne Sommer's exit was explosive. After a bitter contract dispute regarding equal pay, she was blacklisted, forcing her to build a multi-million-dollar empire. The show also benefited from the arrival of industry veterans. When comedy legend Don Knotts joined, his presence helped cement the series as a premier destination. The show is now studied for its influence on the three-camera setup, earning retrospective awards and several inductions into television halls of fame. Surviving and then defeating the very system that launched your career is often the only way to secure a permanent place in Hollywood history. By 2026, the history of Three's Company has become a composite of these three paths: the actors who vanished, the tragedies that followed, and the legends who survived. Modern audiences now view the effortless pratfalls and slapstick alongside the reality of the contract battles and private health struggles that were happening simultaneously. This duality is what defines the show today. The physical comedy we see on screen now carries the weight of the actual human toll it took to produce it. Ultimately, the show's legacy is found in the record of that era, a cultural peak preserved on film, alongside the resilience of the people who reached it.